What is he expected to address, at least when it comes to the Middle East?
A number of issues. I think he will continue focusing on Iran. He will prop up the, his decision to withdraw from the Iranian nuclear agreement, but he will also continue pressing on Iran and asking and calling for new sanctions. He will also try to convince the Congress, both houses, as well as the American people, that his decision to withdraw from Syria is the correct one, and he will talk about defeating the so-called Islamic State organization in Syria. He will also talk about staying in Iraq and monitoring and keeping a close eye on Iran. I'm not sure how he will be addressing the so-called ultimate deal, the situation or the conflict between the Israelis and Palestinians. There has not been any communication between Ramallah, the Palestinian based here in the West Bank, and Washington. Of course, Israel and the U.S. have a great relationship. That is not the case between the U.S. and the Palestinians. He will also address the Saudi and the Gulf crisis. There has been a crisis in the Gulf between Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar, which has really been affecting the, tackling and blocking Iran. So those are some of the issues. And let's not forget also Afghanistan and the new policy there. The U.S. is involved in talks with the Taliban of all, organizations. And he wants to say that maybe after 17 years, that maybe peace is approaching that war-torn country. Now,
you're talking about the fact that there haven't been really any talks between the Palestinians and the Americans around this ultimate deal. But here on this side of the sea, Mohammed, we're hearing from the PLO that they think that they know what is written inside that ultimate deal.
That's correct. One Palestinian official with the Palestine Liberation Organization told me that we have information on what U.S. President Donald Trump Mideast plan is going to be, and I can tell you, and here that's his statement, that it's dead before arrival. U.S. sources in Washington have told us that Trump's team is scrambling to put something together. The plan won't talk about Jerusalem, and it will focus more on economic incentives. The Americans have pretty much adopted to the Israeli side on this issue. So the Palestinians seem to have their own clients, their own sources in Washington who have leaked some of the information regarding the so-called ultimate deal, which many U.S. officials, including the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said that it may be rolled out or introduced sometime this spring.
Well, Special Representative Jason Greenblatt is throwing cold water all over that. Of course, we reached out to him and he told I-24 News that those comments were in fact not accurate, that speculation around the content of the plan isn't helpful. He said that unnamed sources will peddle narratives to the media based on motivations that are far from pure. And he said, we've not asked for any meetings with Palestinian leadership who continue to boycott us. Nevertheless, he says, as I have said, they are always welcome to meet with us and have discussions. It's high time for the Palestinian leadership to get serious about peace and helping the Palestinian people. Sounding quite aggravated there.
That's correct. It sounds like he's upset that there are so many leaks out there, that the Palestinians who continue to boycott the U.S. administration and Washington, and they have refused many times in the past. One of those times they refused to meet even Vice President Mike Pence when he was here in the region, following President Trump's decision and announcement to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, as well as moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. There has been a number of, according to Palestinians, a number of calls to meet with Palestinian officials as well as American officials. The Palestinians continue to boycott. Coming from the top, President Abbas has said a number of times there will be no talk to any U.S. official as long as the decisions are there on the ground, and the U.S. has to reverse its decisions before they connect again.
And we know top of mind, of course, for the Palestinians is reconciliation, and there are talks underway at the moment in Cairo between Hamas leader, political leader Ismail Haniyeh, and Palestinian Islamic Jihad.